Hey now, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I just got back from a screening after seeing Zoolander 2, or Zoolander number 2, however I'm supposed to say it. This is a 2016 comedy film that is once again directed by Ben Stiller, just like the first movie was. Now the plot of this movie is it's been 15 years since the events of the first movie in real life and in movie time. And we see Derek Zoolander, who at the end of the first movie, he married Matilda and had a baby, and he opened that center for kids who can't read good, and everything was going swell, right? Well, you quickly see that not long after all of that, the school crumbled to the ground, and pieces of it killed his wife, and all of this going on, he lost his son to custody, and it's been a pretty shitty life for Mr. Derek Zoolander. He went off in hiding, secluded, until he gets asked back to modeling by Kristen Wiig's character, Alexandria Otaz. She hires him and Hansel, played by Owen Wilson, to come back, and Derek's pretty much just doing this just to get his son back. Now obviously there's a lot more to the plot than that, but let's just stick with this for now, because what I thought of Zoolander number 2 was... it was just okay. Just okay, and I have to admit I'm a little disappointed. Not because I was going into this movie expecting a whole lot. I admit that just the idea of doing a Zoolander movie sort of lost my interest a few years ago. Like at first I thought, like years and years ago, I thought this would have been a good idea to do a sequel, mostly because when the first Zoolander came out, it never got a real chance to be a hit. It's almost like it wasn't supposed to ever be a hit. It came out weeks after 9/11, and it bombed in the theaters. So I thought that movie was so funny, it deserved a sequel to then be a hit. And I was hoping that would be just as funny. But so many years passed, 15 years to be exact, that by the time now, when I heard about a sequel, I thought, I'll admit that this movie has its moments. There are certainly moments that made me laugh. Ben Stiller as this character, he obviously plays this character as just a complete idiot. Derek Zoolander is a guy who is not intelligent, hardly at all, and he's a moron. That's the joke of him. And again, there's moments where that's funny, and then there's moments where it's sort of just like, okay, we've been there, done that, or you've sort of already done all of these types of jokes with this character, even in the first movie, that a lot of the jokes wasn't really hitting with him this time around. The whole idea of his wife, played by Christine Taylor, that she just got killed off the way that it happened. At first I was like, why? Like, why would they do that? I still don't fully understand why, because it's not like she didn't want to act in the movie. They brought her in for like a couple of scenes in their own way, but she just, as a character, they decided not to use her. I don't know. I still don't get it. You have Owen Wilson back as Hansel, and Owen Wilson was fine. He was fine. He has his own side plot going on that he just always sort of hangs out with a group of people, always having orgies, and I guess he gets every single one of them pregnant, including Kiefer Sutherland. So, again, that has its moments. Penelope Cruz as Valentina, who is a former swimsuit model that's now a spy, I guess. The whole spy aspect of this movie also, like, kind of goes out there. Like, I admit, the first Zoolander movie is out there. It is. But this movie almost takes that wackiness and times it by 10. And some people might like that this movie goes even more for it. It kind of took me out of it a lot of the time, seeing them do spy stuff. And it was like, wait, I thought these guys were models. Now they're like James Bond, parody of a James Bond. Will Ferrell, back, obviously, as Mr. Mugatu. My only complaint about Will Ferrell is that he's not in the movie enough. He comes in a little after midway through, so he gets, I'd say, 3, maybe 4 really good scenes, and he's hilarious. He's sort of the funniest part of the movie. But just, again, not enough. I wanted to see more of him. That's just Will Ferrell never really fails to deliver, especially when he plays over-the-top characters like this. Kristen Wiig, like I said, plays Alexandria Ataz, and she's really wasted in this film. She's funny. She can be really funny, but I don't really even get the joke of her character. I mean, the big joke really is that nobody can understand her, that she has this accent that's really hard to understand, and her face is really pulled back, I guess, from plastic surgery, and that's kind of the joke. That's really it. And it's an ongoing joke every time you see her, and it never really made me laugh. I thought it was interesting, the whole idea on Ben Stiller, Derek Zoolander, and Hanzo, the fact that they're models from 15 years ago, and now that they're coming back into modeling, there's this new language almost, or lingo, that models or behind-the-scenes fashion people talk, and they don't understand it. Like, to them it sounds like gibberish. That was a little amusing. Fred Armisen, he comes in as just like a guy who picks them up from the airport, and the thing about him, his joke was that they CGI'd his face onto like a little kid's body, and it was another joke that didn't really work for me at all, and the CGI was really bad. Like, they tried to do with Chris Evans in the first Captain America movie, where they put his head on like a little body. Just this CGI looked horrible. Of course, you have your celebrity cameos like the first movie did. You have Justin Bieber, which I was whatever about his scene. Olivia Munn, Ariana Grande, and Billy Zane makes a return, although the crowd that I was in, didn't really react to Billy Zane. And I don't know if that means that just like he hasn't really done much of anything since the first movie, or maybe younger people don't know who he is anymore. That's kind of depressing to realize. I looked at the list of credits, and it says Kim Kardashian and Kanye West was in this movie. I don't remember seeing them at all. I mean, maybe I just blinked and missed it. There's a whole bunch of other cameos that just sort of like, they come in, they come out. It's not really funny. They're just kind of there to be like, hey, here I am. And I'm not saying the first movie didn't do stuff like that. It just kind of worked better. Although, there is one cameo in here. Should I give it away? Who cares? Sting does make a pretty awesome appearance. A little more than a cameo. And the only other thing I want to mention is little Derek Jr., who is Derek Zoolander's son from the first movie. He's now a little older. And their dynamic was funny. I got into that. There's moments in this movie. There's just moments. Moments here and there. But overall, I don't really know if this movie was worth making. I don't know if it's the time lapse, or if it's just, at the end of the day, the script and the plot and everything going on isn't really all that interesting or as funny as it should be. I'm going to give this movie just a rental. Kind of a low rental. I didn't hate it. I didn't really dislike it. I just I'm going to forget about this in like a couple days. And that sucks. Because I love the first movie. So that sucks. But let me know in the comments below if you still plan on seeing Zoolander number 2. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!